Hello, all my beautiful souls out there. Thank you for joining us on our next 72 hours. Let's see what might come up for all of us in the collective over this next 72 hours. This is a general message. So whenever you find this reading, it's probably, there's something probably in it for you. If it doesn't resonate, feel free to check out the other 72-hour readings that I've done, and whichever title you are drawn to most likely is where you are on the timeline continuum. So we have, to start our reading out, we have 26, gathering around the power of community. So this is telling me, it's like I think the interesting enough, one of the readings I did recently talked about community, and I don't remember if it was the weekly or if it was the last 72-hour one. It might have been the weekly one, the weekly reading that talked about, yeah, I think it was the weekly one that talked about community. And it seems like community is really big right now. It's like there's people, I feel like as a collective, we're drawing our basically our soul tribe to us as each one of us individually shifts into our own individual unique selves, when we become more authentic. And I think the energies that we've been under the influence of, as far as planetary alignments, are allowing us to move into the space to kind of free ourselves from some of the ties that have been binding us, where we feel a little bit freer to be who we want to be. I know it's been kind of a tough journey, and it probably doesn't seem like that on some levels, but I really feel like it's been the interesting enough. We've had a lot of shifts and changes. I think all of us as a collective in our individual lives and as a collective as a whole, you see, all the shaking up and all the stuff that has been occurring on a global scale, and that actually reflects also into our own like individual lives as well, because there's things shaking up within us individually, just like there are things shaking up on the collective global scale that is propelling us as a collective toward a space where we can be more true to ourselves. Like the truth will set you free kind of energy. And through that, through feeling more confident in being able to speak up and speak your truth as a unique individual or as a person, that is drawing to us our, our it's drawing to us our soul tribe. It's drawing people toward us that are more aligned to us, that will get us and understand us and will be more supportive of who we are as a person. So we also have 48 sky dancers, surrender. I love this, and I love that it's got kind of like, I think that's a dragonfly on that card, and it's kind of like this freeing energy of freeing. I like the surrender on this card. It really lends to, surrendering to your truth, surrendering to who you are as a person, feeling free to walk in your own skin. There's so many things. I mean, I think everybody struggles with, at some point, with feeling like there's certain aspects about themselves that they can't share with others, or they might be afraid to share with others, or they're worried about being criticized, judged, made fun of, things like that. But I feel that overall there's this confidence that's coming through of surrendering to our true, unique, identical selves. So feeling freer to be who we are, to not worry so much about being judged or made fun of or those kinds of things. It's like that kind of is starting to be peeled away and allowing us to just emerge and feel freer to be ourselves in the world as at large. And through that, we're attracting things toward us that are more aligned with us, which we're gathering that community around us. And as we start to align with our authentic self, we also are aligning with people, like I said, that support who we are as a person. So this is the power of the community that's coming through, because we're attracting in those people into our lives that are going to support who we are fundamentally, which is going to make us excel and rise up in a more confident way in who we are as a person. We aren't feeling like we need to hide ourselves any longer. The call of the void, there's a candle in your heart ready to be rekindled. All you have to do is acknowledge the void so that you can heal properly. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I love that that has this surrender here, because that's exactly what it is when we basically, the call of the void, when we do this, it's essentially surrendering. We're surrendering something, we're giving it up to the universe, spirit, whatever you call the divine, your verbiage of it. It's surrendering it up to something that's bigger than us, and letting go of not holding on to any preconceived notions or any fears, any trepidations that keep us stuck and keep us from feeling like we can be ourselves, feeling like we can really walk in the world as ourselves. And that's where we start to heal. Because as I said, as we feel freer, and surrender and feel freer to be ourselves, then we attract more people into our lives that actually will support who we are. And as we, that just heals us on a huge level, because now we don't have that fear of holding back who we are. We don't have to feel like we have to be someone that we're not. We don't have to wear a mask in the world anymore. We're becoming more accepted for who we really are, because we're drawing in the community around us, the people around us that get us. They get us on that fundamental soul level. And through that, it's like gathering our soul tribe, the people that get us and understand us and allow us to be who we really are. They accept us for who we are. And that is a huge form of healing. It really helps rekindle who we are, because we maybe you're a person, you're here because you're a person that has felt like you've never been able to be yourself. You've always had to hide who you are, or feel like you've had to hide who you are. And now this is saying that that will shift if you're willing to put yourself out there. Are you willing to surrender whatever is holding you back and from being yourself, and allow yourself to shine through and attract what it is that belongs to you in your life? The reason you might be unhappy in your life right now is maybe because you haven't been true to yourself, and your heart and your soul is screaming and calling for you right now to get back to yourself again, to surrender, to your true authentic self. The Six of Cups, this is a card of remembrance. It's reminiscing. It's thinking about who you were, who you want to be, thinking about the past, thinking about the choices that you've made. Are the choices that you've made, good choices for the life that you want to lead? Are you really happy in the life that you're living? Okay, well, we had two cards come out, the Ace of Swords. And I taught, this is your, getting in touch with your truth, remembering who you really are, and rekindling that passion for yourself. I love that the Hierophant card is coming out here too, because this is understanding that the surrender, the Hierophant card is a card of commitment, but this is a commitment to yourself, being true and just to yourself, surrendering to who you really are, not allowing the world around you to dictate the person that you are in your heart and soul, finding a way to walk in the world that aligns with your truth, with your values, because the Hierophant can also be a card of values, besides a card of commitment as well. It's our traditions, our values, it's the things that make us who we are, it's our truth. So it's getting in touch over the next 72 hours. It's saying, it's telling us it's a time to get in touch with our truth, who we are, what really matters to us. What do we really value? What do we really want for ourselves? Asking ourselves those hard questions, because over the next 72 hours, we do have the new moon. And this whenever we're under the influence of new moon energy, new moons are the perfect time to invest in something, to start something new. And so this is looking back and taking time to evaluate who you are currently and the choices you've made, and maybe recalibrate a little bit. I don't know why the word Excalibur just came through on this sword, but maybe that's significant to someone, but I'm getting Excalibur, which it's like this cutting out anything that you've allowed to take place in your life that isn't your truth, it's surrendering and giving that up, and getting rid of, making space, making a void to allow your truth to come through, to shine, to allow yourself to attract things in your life that are more aligned to the life that you really want to lead, to your unique truth, and only you are able to understand. So what is that one thing that you've been really, really, really wanting to do, that your heart and your soul have been calling and begging for you to do, but you've ignored and you've ignored and you've ignored because you've made choices based on maybe decisions that were, maybe society has dictated that you have to do a certain thing. Maybe your upbringing pushed you in a certain direction career wise. Maybe you love in the way that you do in relationships, or have certain type of relationships because of influence, because that's what you were taught. So it's reevaluating, looking at those core values, the Hierophant card, looking at those core values and revisiting and examining what is your values, what are your beliefs, what do you believe in, what do you want for yourself, and then, getting real with yourself, and then, having the confidence to say, hey, I am worth having the life that aligns with me, and making those changes in your life, or being prepared, setting the stage. This is new moon energy, setting the stage that's going to allow you in the next 72 hours to, move toward a future that is more aligned to your truth, whatever that is. And of course, that's going to be different for everybody, because what one person values, another person may, which is what, part of this energy is. It's finding your community, finding people that are like-minded, and drawing those people to you by being yourself. When you're not being your authentic self, or when we're as a person not being our authentic self, when we're not being true to ourself, the Ace of Swords, when we're not being true to who we are, then we're attracting things and people that align with that false identity that we're portraying portraying in the world around us. That's what's drawing it. So if we walk in the world from a place that's more authentic to us, then we're going to draw things that are more aligned to who we are at that core being, core self. And that's going to really, really, help you be able to be more confident in being yourself and not feeling judged, and be more supported, because you're going to draw in people that are more supportive to who you are, and understand that not everybody's going to like us. And that's a hard thing to get past sometimes, is realizing that not everybody, we can't please everybody, because not everyone is like us. So it's finding the people that are like us, and we can't find the people that are like us as if we're hiding behind a mask of falseness, that we're moving in the way that isn't true to our soul, to our heart. So we have to find ways. This is next 72 hours is about aligning more with yourself, with your truth, with your heart and soul, and what you desire your life to be, and going after that, or finding the people that will support you in that endeavor, so that you can have that love and support that you're craving and desiring, that maybe you haven't had in your life, because you've attracted people into your life that really don't align with who you really are at a core fundamental value or person. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this. I think I rambled a little bit more than I intended to, and thank you if you held out for that, and I hope that you got a lot from this message. I think it's very valuable, especially, as I said, with this reading happening at right before the new moon, which is a great time to do this kind of work, which is why I think that this is coming through for us right now. So I thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you that tuned in and watched, because your time is valuable, and the fact that you're sharing it with me is just such a blessing and such an honor. So thank you so much. I wish you the best. Much harmony and gratitude to you, my friends.